So this might just actually become my new favorite infantry deck. The 357th Infantry for Germany. Really cool logo, I gotta say. It's kind of like the Pegasus Division, I believe, is a nickname. But yeah, really good, fun infantry deck to play with. Lots and lots of anti-tank. And yeah, it's pretty good. I've actually had a game with this, and you guys will be able to see that very soon. So let's get started. We're going to blow through the recon tab fairly quickly. So we get a motorbike recon with an MG34. Decent recon in general. We got a 2-man Aufklären team. Exceptional stealth, very high optics, so definitely my choice for recon to move either close to the front line or flank around. And do keep in mind that every infantry unit can be used in, well, can be coupled with different vehicles, and that those vehicles will also have a recon function after you unload the infantry. But do keep in mind that certain vehicles have less or more stealth or better optics or worse optics. We have the SBW-204 French vehicle with the 25mm autocannon. Pretty good range. Well, it's max range, 40% accuracy, and actually 50mm penetration. Sounds really good against like APCs in the early game. We also have the 204 CDM with the 47mm gun instead of the autocannon. And as you can see, stats are pretty similar, but yeah, you have a gun instead of an autocannon, and personally I would probably go for the gun and the autocannon instead. Rate of fire is much better, about 2.5 times better actually. So yeah, and they all come with the Mag 31 machine gun. And last, we also have the Fusiliers here with the MP40s and Kar 98s, MG34, and anti-tank grenades, so pretty good recon actually in general to use. Infantry is where it's kind of interesting. So we have the Feldgendarmerie Assault Squad here with the 4 MP40s. And once again, they come in a wide variety of vehicles, including this armed one. We have the Ersatztruppen here. They come in these fast vehicles here. So it's basically a 9-man home guard squad. Mostly rifles. Good to buff up the front line. We got the Stoßtruppen, 3 PPSHs, 2 MP40s, and smoke nades. I don't have this in my current deck, but I might actually put them in because you really miss the CQC infantry with this battle group, because everything is either mid-range with the rifles or long-range with the LMGs. We have the leaders on the motorbike. We also have the Grenadier leader, 4-man team with MP40s and Kar 98s. Once again, lots of vehicles to choose out of. Grenadiers, this is basically the backbone of your defensive infantry force. It is a rifle squad, so 7 Kar 98s, an MG34, and 1 MP40. And they do come in these SDKFZ 7s. So yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. You get 4 cards of these. The Siegerungs. It's basically the same as the Grenadiers, but they have the MG15 instead of the MG34. Same exact stats on the machine gun. A little bit higher rate of fire on the MG15 actually. But these guys come with the 40mm anti-tank rifle. It's actually not too bad. And once again, we have the SDKFZ at 7. But yeah, the good thing about these guys is 12 rate of fire. So every 5 seconds you can fire this thing. And it will get criticals on tanks, but it's mainly really useful against APCs. We have the Volksdeutsche with the MP40, Kar 98, MG34, and the Panzerfaust. It is 2.5 times more expensive than, well, actually, about twice. Less than twice as expensive as the Ersatztruppen, but you do get the MG34 and the Panzerfaust. The downside is you only get 6 on mid-vet, 12 on the lowest vet, so possibly get these in phase B if you really want some cheap infantry, but for 25 points you might as well just get the Panzer Grenadiers for 30 points. So possibly there would be a good phase A buffer infantry. Speaking of, we have the Grenadiers with the Panzerfaust, MP40, basically the same loadout as before, but with the Panzerfaust. You get 6 of them on the lowest vet in phase A. You do get 8 in phase B and 12 in phase C, so definitely it's more looking towards phase B and C with this guy. Pioneers, good anti-infantry infantry, nothing wrong with them really. Same stats as always, they do have 1 more extra MP40, and they have these HE nades. Pioneer Fears, and finally the Sturm Pioneers with the flamethrowers. Yeah, pretty decent, not too bad. In the tank tab we have the Panzer 39H, the French tank with the 37mm tank gun, max range, 25% accuracy at 50mm penetration. Panzer 35S, the command. It's all French tanks, it's really slow. possibly good to like support your infantry, like really close to the front line, maybe in a town even, because they're not going to hold up against any tanks. But yeah, the good thing about this guy here, the Panzer V2, is it has a secondary gun here, the 75mm HE cannon, which does do quite a lot of suppression. So this might be a good support vehicle. And then finally we have the stock 3G, in case you do need something to take care of tanks with that 75mm, 135mm penetrating, 40mm accuracy cannon. Decent front armor. Yeah. Support, a 2-man flamethrower squad, always good. Lots of vehicles to choose out of. MG08 squad, 1000 meters of range on these, but definitely get the MG42s with 1500 meters range and much higher rate of fire. IG-18 assault gun, really good rate of fire, 1 every 5 seconds this thing will blast the enemy infantry. Supplies, IG-33, basically a big daddy of the IG-18, much better gun, 150mm compared to 75mm, so literally twice as good in terms of, well, twice as large in terms of caliber, but yeah, does a load more damage suppression and has a much higher blast. Range is the same, but the rate of fire is, yeah, not great. 5 rounds per minute. But yeah, once these things fire, that's it. That's it for the infantry. Commander, 2 commanders in Phase A, and we also have the 30AT in Phase C. Anti-tank, loads of it. We have the Panzerjäger 35R, the French anti-tank, well, tank destroyer, 90mm penetration, 35% accuracy, and you can get these on the highest vet for, you can get quite a few of them. 25 points, you can get 4 on the highest vet in Phase A, and 7 in B. So it might actually be a good buffer. We have the PaK 36, 37mm AT gun. The heat shells do have 180mm penetration, but only 800 meters range, whereas the AP rounds are really weak with 65mm penetration and 35% accuracy. But they do have the max range. So if you do use these, put them in like a good ambush site that is really close to where the enemy tanks will come out of. Panzerschreck, good anti-tank infantry in case you don't have those in Phase A in the infantry tab. You can also get them in Phase B or C, but I mainly use these in Phase A. Possibly if you do play like a breakthrough game mode, I would probably get more in Phase A. Marder 3s, you can only get these in Phase A, so definitely put them in there. 105mm penetration, 40% accuracy, good tank destroyer. Yeah, it is a glass cannon. If you do get hit, you'll probably get wrecked, but if you have a few of these, you will definitely smash. PaK 38, 50mm, definitely a good gun. 150mm penetration on the APCR, 50% accuracy, which drops to 40% with 100mm penetration, so definitely good. And you get loads of these. I mean, look at that. In that case, you could even remove the PaK 36, because if you are in an ambush position, the 100mm, well, these guys will do more damage anyways, you know, at the same range. Well, what I'm basically trying to say is if you're already at 800 meters engagement, the PaK 38 will probably wreck anything anyways, because of the kinetic power. But yeah, that's something to consider. Marder 2s, 190mm penetration, 55% accuracy, which drops to 145mm penetrations. Definitely a good, powerful tank destroyer, and you can get loads of these. PaK 40, you can get 2 cards. APCR round are just absolutely amazing. The AP rounds are still really good, and yeah, I think I have these in Phase B, since you get 3 of them. In Phase A, you do get 2, so it would be a good like quick door stop to stop like the enemy armored column that might be moving over that road that everyone usually puts their tanks on, I guess. And the big daddy of them all, the PaK 43, the 88mm, which is just going to destroy absolutely everything. And I think I have these in Phase C. Finally, the Jagd Panther. This thing is a beautiful beast. 230mm penetration. I mean, what is that about? You can get 4 of them in Phase C with the mid-vet, or 8 with the lowest vet. Anti-air, quite a bit. We got the Flak 38 20mm, not a self-propelled one. You get loads of these in Phase A. You got 4 of them, which is actually more than enough. We also have the SDKF set 7-2, 2500 meters range. This is a self-propelled 37mm flak, or Flak 36 as they called it. You don't get a lot of these, and in some cases there is also no use in going for the mid-vet, because You get 3 on the lowest, 1 on the mid, and 1 on the highest. So if you do get them in phase C, and you want to get them either mid or high vet, just go for high vet. Flag Feeling, a quad 20 mil, do a lot of damage, 2000 meters range, insane rate of fire. Yeah, they're really good. I've had these take out planes without a problem. Last but not least, we have the Flag 41 88mm. Dual purpose gun. It will stun planes really quickly, but I've usually found that these are too bulky. And they're just like an artillery magnet. So if you do get these, get them in the armored half track, so you can quickly attach these to this vehicle again and then move them around. Artillery tab, quite a lot of artillery, including the French howitzer. But yeah, we got the Artillery Observer, Führer Leader Unit, 81mm mortars, 3000 meters range, pretty decent. I definitely have these. Nebelwerfer 41s. Depends on your playstyle, I would say, but I personally don't like the Nebelwerfers. I'm more of a howitzer kind of person. So what I have is these French howitzers. They're really good at range. You get 7 on mid-vet, which means they're really accurate. And if you have a leader on the front line, you can get shots on the enemy quick. And it's already at 6 rounds per minute. And that'll go up to like 8 or 9 rounds per minute when you have a leader or a spotter on the front. So really good to have. We also have the 155mm, the Schneiders. The main difference obviously is the damage suppression and blast. The accuracy is the same, and it also has unlimited range basically. But honestly, 9000 meters range is more than enough. And the rate of fire is twice as slow. We also have the 150mm. Rate of fire is better, 5 rounds per minute. But yeah, you don't get the same amount as you do with the French. You get 7 here, 2 here, 1 here. And also this guy, the 380mm off-map artillery, the Siegfried. This is absolutely insane. The craters that this thing releases is just nuts. In the air tab, we have the Recon FI-156C. Good recon, good to spot whatever the enemy is throwing at you in the beginning of the game, or to spot the artillery way in the base. We have the ME-109 G2R1 with the 250 kilogram bomb, 20mm autocannon, and 2 7.92 machine guns. Not the fastest plane, probably because of its bomb, but good enough. We have the ME-109 G6, 590 kilometers per hour, 20mm autocannon, and also 2 13mm autocannons. And you get 5 of them on mid-vets. Absolutely nuts. Ju-188 with the 28 times 50 kilogram bomb. Yeah, I mean that's a carpet bomber right there. And you can get 2 cards of these. So if you do want to go all out, you can get 8 of them in phase C. We also have the ME-109 G6R4 with the 2 30 mils and the single 20 mil and the 2 13 mils. And these guys are pretty quick as well. I think I have these in phase B on mid-vet, and that way they will absolutely smash. The Duck with the 75 mil tank buster anti-tank gun. Really good accuracy. Really good range actually, and these things will take out IS-2s without a problem. 175mm penetration on it. And last we have the Ju-188 with the 4 500 kilogram bombs. So 2 tons worth of payload, will absolutely demolish anything, and it's a decently fast plane as well. It also has some turrets. It has a 20mm turret and 2 13mm turrets, and also 7.92mm turrets. So this guy could actually wreck planes if it's being followed. I would like to see turrets do more damage. Possibly by increasing their range, perhaps. Especially when enemy planes are going after them. I don't know. Something about turrets not really doing enough. I do believe that turrets should do more damage. But yeah, that was it. Let's look at our own selection and see what we got. Recon, I only went for 1 because I wanted to use the points elsewhere. So we have the Aufklärung team in phase A. In the BMW, because the BMW itself is very stealthy and has good optics. In the infantry tab, we have the Ersatztruppen instead of the Volksdeutsche, because I wanted more. These guys cost more as well, and you get less of them. So with these, I basically just reinforcing the front line. That I'm lining up with the Grenadiers and the Seekeroons. So we also have the Grenadier Führer in phase A. We have 9 Grenadiers on the lowest vet in phase A, and I've put these guys in the Opel Blitz transports to quickly get to the front line. We have the Seeker Runes, which I've actually not put in the SDKF set, so let's fix that. In Phase A as well, these guys have that 40 mil. And as you can see, not everything can go into those SDKF sets. We have the Grenadiers with the Panzerfaust. In Phase B, mid-vet, you get 8 of these. They're pretty decent, good at holding back a light blob of infantry and light blob of APCs, but they're not great at really pushing. In Phase B, we also have the Pioneers here with those grenades. Once again, another card of Seeker Runes on the lowest vet because you just don't have a choice, and these guys come in the SDKF set. And in Phase C, we have the Seeker Runes once again, lowest vet. What you could do, technically, is go for the Grenadiers with the Panzerfaust in Phase C and get like 12 of these instead. But yeah, honestly, in Phase C it's probably going to be down to just reinforcing what you already have, and pushing with infantry at that stage is probably just going to turn into a meat grind. So I would probably just adjust your tactic instead of rushing 24 squads to the front. But yeah, what we didn't do is actually get these SoullessVase. So in Phase A, we are pretty weak here in terms of anti-tank capabilities. So what we could do is remove the Ersatztruppen and make this a more professional army. But you only get 6 of these, which is really the downside of this deck here. Otherwise, you would get Pioneers in Phase A, remove the Ersatztruppen and just get the SoullessVase in Phase B. But doing that really limits your manpower in Phase B, where you might actually need it to do like a counter push or something like that. In the tank tab, we only have the 10 Stugs in Phase B. Possibly could go for these guys on mid-vet, just to give them that extra little oomph, since, you know, you might need it if you're calling out 7 Stugs anyways. Yeah. With this deck, I'm definitely focusing on the infantry play instead of having a more balanced deck, if that makes sense. In the support tab, MG42s to help out in Phase A. Opal Blitz munitions in Phase A. Commanders, you get 2 of these, actually, which is great in Phase A. More supplies in Phase A. IG-33s in Phase B to help out and reinforce what I've captured with my infantry, to then set up like a good firing position or support line with these dudes. In the anti-tank tab, as I said before, I might just remove the Pak 36s because we already have the Pak 38s with the 150 mil penetration, and the extra 30 mil penetration with the really reduced range of, you know, 800 meters might actually not be beneficial. So what you could do is either get the Panzerschreck or get something else like the Pak 40s in Phase A, of which you get 2. So that might be a good compromise there. So let's just go with that for now. We also now have the Marder 3s in Phase A, since you don't get them anywhere else. Pak 38 50 mils in Phase A, 5 of these, mid-vet, and we have 2 of these Pak 40s mid-vet in Phase A. In Phase B we have the Marder 2s, a more heavier hitting tank destroyer with more Pak 40s, 3 of these, and 2 Pak 43s, and in Phase C we come in with 4 rookie Jagd Panthers. You could go for 2 mid-vets, but yeah, it really takes away of... I mean, if you get 2, they're probably going to get RD'd anyways and get stunned, so you might just as well get the numbers. Where were we? Anti-air. So we have 4 of these Flak 38 20 mils in Phase A. Really good AA guns, especially if you spread these guys out. 4 Flings in Phase B, lowest vet. And 3 of these SDKF set 7-2s in Phase C, because mid-vet takes away too much. If you got 2 in mid-vet, I would go for that, but currently 3 on the lowest vet is the smartest move. In the artillery tab, we have 4 of these 81mm mortars. Really good for quick suppression or quick fire missions on enemy infantry or enemy AA, AT positions and that kind of stuff. We have the Kubel, 380mm off map. Yes, I could wreck the enemy by getting it in Phase C, but I don't want to be that person, so I just got these in Phase A instead. Battery Furies in Phase B, just to help with our lack of leaders. And 7 of these 105mm French howitzers in Phase B, mid-vet. Absolutely amazing. Recon, we have the 156C Recon plane in Phase A, together with these ME-109 G2 BR-21 with the rockets. I think I've actually missed this plane. I might have actually missed it. But yeah, there it is with the two 210mm HE rockets. We have the ME-109 G6 fighters in Phase A with the single 20mm and the two 13mm. And in Phase B we have the 2x30mm, 120 and two 13mm autocannon heavy fighter. So that goes 530 compared to 590. And in Phase A, I went for this guy because, well, you get more in mid-vet and they're also faster. So better to like take out those enemy recon planes in the beginning, or if they're trying to do like a napalm strike or something. And in Phase B we also have some bombers, the Ju-188s with a 2 tons total payload. Could have gone for them in Phase C, but in Phase C I want to be already sure of holding a position, so I'm trying to get most of my firepower in A and B. But yeah, that was it. I went for the balanced loadout. I could definitely go for the Vanguard. It all depends on you, I would say, in Phase C. Reason I went for balanced is probably because of the Yak Panthers, but honestly, I don't have anything in Phase C apart from some AA, our Yak Panthers and Seakrung, so Vanguard would definitely benefit me the most. And even when I did balance, I had points over, like points left, like 500-600 points left after I actually was mid-game. So yeah, there it is, the 352nd Infantry. Definitely a really cool infantry deck to play. Might be a good like 1v1 deck, but in that case I would be very afraid with my infantry because it's quite bad. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys back in the next one. Take care.